Now we'll see the priority scheduling with the preemption. So till now we studied a priority scheduling with a non-preemption. Now the first problem in a preemptive priority scheduling. So look at the tabular form. So he has given arrival time, burst time. PT stands for priority. You can just see 0 is not given in the top. Okay, it's given but it's not in the top. So no need of getting worry. Why? Because it's there, data is there, but it's been shuffled. Okay, so you can schedule accordingly. We'll see how it is going to be. At 0 millisecond he has given process P3 is there. Okay, so process P3 is there present and we are performing preemptive scheduling. So if you are providing the preemptive scheduling, what you need to do, once you schedule process P3, okay, after 1 millisecond you need to check, right? This I was not doing in the non-preemption. In non-preemption at 0 millisecond, if the process P3 was there, I was scheduling it complete for 2 milliseconds. Now it is not the condition. Why? Because I am doing the preemptive, so that is why I need to check each and every milliseconds. And this process P3, he is having how much burst time? So burst time is 2. Okay, process P3 is having burst time 2 and its priority is 4th priority. Means here first is the highest priority, 4 is the lowest priority. Process P3 is having the 4th priority. And at 1 millisecond, so you have got process P2. And E is having the priority, that is first priority. You can just recall the SJF preemptive scheduling. Here I was taking the burst time for the comparison, right? Since it is a SJF. Now I am comparing the priority for the this scheduling. Why? Because it is a preemptive priority scheduling. So we need to consider priority while scheduling. Okay. So P2 is having the highest priority compared to the P3. So we'll write this one, P2 with the priority 1 and P2 is having the burst time of 3. Okay, so at 1 millisecond you need to compare between these two processes. So who is having the highest priority? That is process P2. I'll schedule the process P2. Since it is a preemptive, this is the way you need to schedule. After 1 plus 1, 2 milliseconds, another process coming. Who is that? Process P1. And that process P1 is having the priority 3, third priority. Okay, process P1 is having the priority 3 and E is having the burst time, that is 4 millisecond. At this point of time, 2 millisecond, you need to compare which process to schedule based on the priority. So among these three, again P2 only is the highest priority process. I'll again assume this P2 process. If the P2 process is having only 1 millisecond burst time for the execution, so I would have terminated here itself. But P2 process is having 3 milliseconds. He executed only 1 millisecond here. 2 more left. So I'm giving chance for P2 only and he is only having the highest priority. Okay. He executed for 1 more millisecond. And then at 3 millisecond, who is coming? Process P4. And he is having the priority, that is second priority. Okay, so process P4 is having the second priority. Okay, and P4 is having the burst time of 8. So at this point of time, you need to consider all these processes. Okay, because the timing has been completed. 3 millisecond was the maximum time and that was completed. So now I need to choose all the process together. Okay, so let us see who is having the highest priority. So now again P2 only having the highest priority. So I'll give chance to P2 only. So it was having only 3 millisecond. So I gave chance here once, here again once, and now one more time. So now it updated for 4 millisecond and P2 completed its task. Okay, so after 4 millisecond, none of the process is coming. So when the none of the process is coming, so you need to choose among the remaining processes. based on the highest priority. Okay, now the left out is P3, P1 and P4. Among these three, who is having highest priority? That is a process, P4. Okay, process P4. I have written the priority this side, left side. These are all the burst time. Don't get confusions. Okay, so among these three, okay, left out process P3, P1 and P4. Highest priority is process P4. Okay, I am going to schedule P4. And he is having the burst time of 8 millisecond. 4 plus 8 is, that is 12. So E also completed. Okay, next remaining is P3 and P1. So next highest priority process is, that is P1. So I'm going to schedule P1. P1 is having the burst time of 4 milliseconds. So that is why 12 plus 4 is 16. And then last chance I'll give for the, that is P3 process, which was preempted here in the beginning itself. Now because he was having the lowest priority and he came early, so that is why the CPU gave a chance for him. Okay, so after all the highest priority process have been scheduled, now the lowest process again get the chance. P3, he executed 1 millisecond here and he was left out with another 1 millisecond, so I gave chance for him. So now it is 17 milliseconds. Okay, so that's it. That is about the completion of the Gantt chart. Okay, so in remaining as usual, completion time of a process P1, 16, 4, 17, that is process P4 completed at 12. Okay, turnaround time you can put a formula. So CT minus 80, 16 minus 2 is 14, 3, then 17 minus 0 is 17 again, 12 minus 3 is 9. Okay, waiting time you can calculate, turnaround time minus burst time, you are going to get 10, 0, okay, 15 and 1. So this remains same because formula, no, so that you can apply the formula. Okay, so now you can calculate 10 plus 0 plus 15 plus 1 divided by 4 processes. I think you are going to get 6.5 milliseconds. Cross verify once. Okay, so that is about the priority scheduling with the preemption. First problem.